Good morning. This is video number 12 of my set of 31 videos that I'm doing in hopes of helping someone who is trying to use their glucose meter as a fuel gauge, known as data-driven fasting. And this isn't really about fasting so much as it is giving your body a little bit of time to let your glucose fall before you take in more fuel. But it's also the data part of data-driven fasting is helping us to find our own personal glucose trigger so that we don't just pick an arbitrary glucose value out of the air and say, I'm going to wait until I hit that number. Even though this video is video number 12, it's being recorded for day number 11 of the Data-Driven Fasting 30-Day Challenge. I will put up a chart that shows all 30 days of the 30-day challenge. It will show the data that is suggested that we collect on ourselves during this 30-day challenge. I am looking at my Data-Driven Fasting app, the dashboard, and I see that I can read a daily lesson that has the question, why is my waking blood sugar the highest of the day? And I'll get to that in a minute, share that information with you. The Data-Driven Fasting app is included as part of the 30-day challenge for those who are participating in the $37 class as a group. Oops, there's my alarm. But it's also available for free for anybody that wants to give it a trial run. No credit card required, and it can be used for 14 days, which this is day 12, and I learned about my personal glucose number on day 3 of the challenge. I'll put the chart up again there so you can see during the time called baselining, and my personal glucose trigger that was assigned to me, which I settled in on day 4, was 80. So my personal glucose hunger trigger, is at 80, and that's the recommendation that I wait and fast until that number before I take in fuel. Well, I woke up with an 80 yesterday morning and this morning, and I went ahead and ate earlier in the day with those glucose. Yesterday I did, and I intend to today. I'm hungry. But before I go off to eat, I will share with you my Data-Driven Fasting app dashboard screen so you can see what's going on here at the beginning of day 12. We are starting in the phase called eating window. Day 12 is the start of that phase. And this morning I entered in my morning waking glucose as 80. And because of hunger, I also entered it in as my pre-meal glucose. And then I got a message, congratulations, your blood glucose is close enough to your personal hunger trigger, time to eat a nutritious meal. I'm going to focus on some protein without a lot of fat, and I am finally going to get to that mango that I thought I was going to eat for the last couple of mornings, the mango chunks. And I think I'll go ahead and I'll make up some kind of a TrimHealthyMama shake with fiber in it so that I can slow down the rise of the glucose from the mango chunks. So in fueling terms, for those who are TrimHealthyMama adherents, that will be an energizing meal, energized by carbohydrates. I also wanted to share with you the opportunity when you're using the app. You have these daily lessons you can read, and so that the daily lessons you can see on the same screen that has congratulations highlighted in red. Down at the bottom of that picture, there's the daily lesson and the read more button. So I will click on the read more button and open up that screen. I actually have it open on my computer, so I could share that with you, because probably the print for the lesson is too small for you to read on this video. But anyway, there's information there about why is my waking blood sugar the highest of the day. So I have that up here on my computer screen, and it's saying that if we have plenty of stored body fat, our body is going to release it as energy overnight, release it into our bloodstream, even if we were following a low carb diet, which I'm not. And then our body can make glucose from protein and from the fat we eat and from the fat that's stored on our body. It says that if we have excess energy stored in our body, fat, the glucose that we're consuming from food will back up in our system, and it's going to overflow into our bloodstream, and that will lead to higher glucose numbers. It's glucose that hasn't been put away into the cells for usage. So it says making sure you are not overeating too late at night may help decrease waking blood sugars. However, reducing your body fat levels to more optimal levels over time may take some time. To do this, you need to keep chasing a lower pre-meal blood sugar by delaying your meals. You must also ensure you're eating nutrient-dense, high-satiety meals when you do eat. I did a good job of that yesterday. Even though I consumed both fat and carbs, there were lots of nutrients, and I tried to get plenty of protein. I may have been short on my protein yesterday, but I did a good job, I would think, in having a healthy meal. I'll put yesterday's food consumption up on the screen so that you can see that. I had that fiber-rich, protein-rich shake before I went, so that I would take up some space and basically slow myself down in case the food choices were going to be horribly tempting for me and I might overeat that. So I got a good start by using a TrimHealthyMama based shake. I'm going to go on with the lesson information here. Counterintuitively, people on a higher fat diet often see higher blood glucose levels in the morning, particularly when they eat more fat at night. If your waking glucose is elevated, you could experiment with eating less fat, and perhaps in your evening meal when your blood glucose is lower. I think I need to tell Marty to do some editing there. Over time, by using your blood glucose to guide what and when you eat, you may find that your blood glucose levels become more consistent across the day. And consistent blood glucose levels, not always stable, but not spiking up and down, will definitely help with a lot of issues of food cravings and not feeling well, because the ups and downs don't make us feel well. So that is the end of the information on the lesson. If you had the app and you could open it through, you'd also see a chart that Marty has included in there of some tracked data. But anyway, I think I've done enough sharing from the lesson, and I don't need to include that image. I've opened up the DataDriven Fasting Manual that is available for free at DataDrivenFasting.com. I downloaded it. It's a 210-page manual, and I've done a word search on the topic of eating windows, since that's the new phase that entering day 12 represents. And one thing that it says here in the manual is instead of a fixed eating window, data-driven fasting uses your blood glucose to make more intelligent choices about when and what to eat. Rather than ignoring your healthy appetite signals, data-driven fasting teaches you to train your hunger, so in time, your body learns to trust that you will give it precisely what it needs when it needs it. Another one of the hits for the topic of eating windows is under 1.4. How is chasing your trigger different from a fasting window? Well, rather than a rigid window of time where you eat whatever and as much as you want or can, data-driven fasting guides you to eat when you are hungry and refuel only when your body needs it. If you eat more than you require, you will simply need to wait longer until you can eat next. You quickly learn not to overeat so you can eat again sooner. And while limiting the amount of time spent eating is beneficial, many people consume a lot of energy in a short window, especially if they choose energy-dense, nutrient-poor, lower protein foods. When guided by their blood sugar, most people progress with data-driven fasting with 2 separate meals per day. And in addition, most people find it much easier to get the protein and nutrients they need with 2 meals a day compared to 1 meal a day, which sometimes is referred to OMAD, or even with more extended fasting routines. Many people who transition from OMAD to 2 meals a day in data-driven fasting find they have increased energy levels and greater satiety, and their weight loss restarts after having stalled out. I like this one. Data-driven fasting is a powerful, time-proven tool that has guided thousands of people toward their fat loss and blood glucose goals without tracking calories or using a rigid one-size-fits-all fasting window. I loathe tracking calories, tracking my foods. Another key thing about eating windows is to learn not to eat too late at night. We will benefit from eating earlier in the day and being done with it rather than later at night. And I'll put some links in the description box about early time-restricted eating. I've got a few research articles that cover that topic. Now this next little section is completely personal to me, has nothing to do with data-driven fasting or the being helpful on these videos. So if you don't want to hear it, just skip ahead into the, through the video till you see the next scene change, because I think when I finish this video up at the end of the day, it's not going to be here at the tread desk. So just skip ahead. So the personal thing I'm going to share is that when I did video number 1 of the set of 31 videos, I started it at a tread desk, the tread desk at our oldest child's house, and I said that I was walking at my tread desk, which the information was mostly true. I was walking at my tread desk. It's one of my 3 tread desks. My husband has graciously indulged my fixation with doing a lot of walking at the tread desk. I'd rather walk than sit if I'm going to work on the computer. And so I have a tread desk at the 3 important places in my life where I tend to spend the most time. And now I've spent this morning, starting today's video, here in Texas. I got back to Texas on Tuesday night, and it's now Saturday morning for me, and I will be spending the next number of hours studying for my nutrition class. And so I'm bobbing along on my tread desk. Sorry about that, but it is, I need to walk, and I haven't been able to walk hardly at all since I got back to Texas. It's been go, go, go since I landed Tuesday night, and today's my first open day to work here and get some studying done for my class. So this is a different tread desk scene. And it's, anyway, that's the personal information, and that's why you're seeing a different scene behind me as I bob along. And I will finish up this video now, and for now, and go get some breakfast and then do some studying. It's the end of the day, and I will close up this video. It's been the best of times and the worst of times. The best of times because I did a great job studying, and I got 100 on a quiz and 100 on a test, and I'm on top of things with my nutrition class. The worst of times because I overate this evening. I was doing great until I decided to join my husband and have what I was serving him for dinner. So I will start by putting up the food that I was doing great with to begin with. I made myself a shake, something along the lines of the Hello Health shake that I'm not going to bother to put the recipe in because what I concocted was too far off the Hello Health shake. I just started with an idea and I went with it from there. The good part about the shake was I went ahead and had some cucumbers with it to add some fiber into that, and it had plenty of protein in it. And then I realized it didn't have any fat in it, and I know that it's important to have a little bit of fat even when we're eating low fat. So I went and got some, they're called macambo beans. I'm putting up a picture of them along with the shake that I had. So they have some good brain fats, and I didn't have a full serving of them, but I had enough to add some fat into the meal. And I will put up a link about why it's important to have some fats even when you're eating low carb. Later on, after I finished my test, I put together finally the yogurt bowl, and that's going to be up on the screen for you. The yogurt is hidden underneath the chia seeds. So I sweetened yogurt, I added collagen to it, and then I put on the mango chunks. So that was kind of my midday meal. Actually, this was a unique day for me because I ate three different times. And I was sitting with my husband. I'd served him dinner, and I thought to myself, I'm going to eat this meal tomorrow because I'm not hungry right now. But as I sat with him, I started to get a little nudge of hunger, and I thought, well, I probably could just make it through the night and benefit from that, going to bed a little bit hungry. That's usually in my favor. But no, I didn't. And so I'm putting up a picture of the meal that I served him more than what's on my plate. I show the burger and the salad that's made with some mozzarella and basil and tomatoes and balsamic vinegar and olive oil. He had a roll, and he had some caramelized onions. But once I ate that burger and the salad, there's something went off in my brain. It was like, well, I did that, and now I feel like having something sweet. So the good thing was, instead of just, well, I don't have it. No, I do have sweets in the house. I have some chocolate. Instead of eating the chocolate, I went to the jar of peanut butter and a banana, and I had that. So those are up on the screen for you. So that's the culmination of my food day. And it was a good school day, but not a good eating day. Or maybe it was a good eating day because it was healthy, but it was too much. I just tested my glucose, and the meal hasn't fully all that eating hasn't fully taken effect. So my glucose is at 95, and it's gonna go up. I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow morning. You'll find out when I find out. So that's going to be the end of this video with me being disappointed in myself, but these things, it's not the first time. It won't be the last time. And I'll try to do better tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a new day. So I'm going to close up this video and thank you for watching my failure.